Now in epigynous flower, the margin of thalamus grows upward, enclosing the ovary completely and getting fused with it. The other parts of flower arise above the ovary. So this is epigynous flowers. Now parts of a flower: calyx, corolla. They show the estivation. What is that? The mode of arrangement of sepals or petals in floral bud with respect to the other members of the same whorl is known as estivation. Types: velvet, twisted, imbricate and vexillary. Now velvet estivation seen in calotropis, twisted estivation seen in China rose, lady's finger and cotton, imbricate cassia gulmohar, and vexillary in pea bean flowers. Now velvet, when sepals or petals in a whorl just touch one another at the margin without overlapping, as in calotropis, it is said to be velvet estivation. Now if one margin of appendages overlaps that of the next one and so on, as in China rose, lady's finger and cotton, this one is twisted. If the margins of sepals petals overlap one another but not in any particular direction, as in cassia gulmohar, the estivation is imbricate. In pea and bean flowers, there are 5 petals. The largest standard overlaps the 2 lateral petals, that is wings, which in turn overlap the 2 smallest anterior petals, skill, which is fused. Now, this type of estivation is known as vexillary or papillonesia. So this was seen in the diagram first, showing the without overlapping is velvet, twisted is overlapping. Okay, next one and so on. Imbricate, you see, not in particular direction, there is overlapping, and D is vexillary papillonosia. Now androecium, the pollen grains are produced in pollen sacs. A sterile stamen is called staminode. Epipetalous, when stamens are attached to the petals, they are epipetalous as seen in brinjal. Epiphyllous, when attached to the perianth. Perianth is calyx, corolla is not distinct, they fused, they form the perianth, so as in the flowers of lily. Now monoidelphus, diadelphus, polyadelphus. Polyadelphus in citrus, diadelphus in pea, and monoidelphus in China rose. Now what are these? The stamens may be united into one bunch or one bundle, as seen in China rose, or 2 bundles, as seen in diadelphus in pea, and more than 2 bundles is polyadelphus. Okay, Salvina mustard, they have the different length of filaments. Now type of placentation: there is marginal placentation, axial placentation, parietal placentation, central free placentation, and basal placentation. So in marginal placentation, example in pea, and then axial placentation in China rose, tomato and lemon. Parietal placentation in mustard and argemone, and free central placentation in dianthus and primrose. In basal placentation in sunflower and marigold. Now what are these? So marginal placentation, when the placenta forms a ridge along the ventral suture of the ovary and the ovules are borne on this ridge, forming 2 rows, as in P. So axial placentation, when the placenta is axial and the ovules are attached to it in a multilocular ovary kind of chamber, the placentation is said to be axial. Okay, now parental placentation, the ovules develop on the inner wall of the ovary or on periphery part. So this is parietal placentation. Ovary is one chambered, but it becomes 2 chambered due to the formation of false septum, as seen in parietal placentation. Now when the ovules are born on central axis and septa are absent, so septa is absent, so central placentation. Now basal placentation, the placenta develops at the base of ovary and a single ovule is attached to it. Okay, so this was the basal placentation.